With a writing staff pay scale that runs in line with the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement, I'm Matt Straq. This is That Sports Show. All right, with the paymasters back at the mothership demanding blood, we figured it was time to start upping the ante here on TSS. Really give the show a spit shine. So from here on out, we're enacting the Kobe Bryant strategy. We're going to be throwing everything up while pretending to be team players. And in that spirit, it's time to talk about early 90s Nickelodeon. Now, if you're like the people who work for this show, lonely, desperate, and in your late 20s, it means you spent a good amount of the early 90s camped in front of the TV. Anything to distract you from the other children's ridiculing of your eye patch and headgear, right? And what was it that you spent your time watching? Just two things: scrambled Cinemax late at night and Nickelodeon. Now, back in those days, Nickelodeon wasn't packed with the high-minded programming that today pervades the channel, what with its homophobic sea sponges and all. Back then, Nickelodeon was all about fostering a spirit of fierce competition in children, lest the Chinese economy began to outstrip ours. So let's head on back and see where the wheels came off, shall we? We're going to start with the Sultan of Slime, Mark Summers, and his flagship program, Double Dare.
Come on, we want to see it in 11 seconds. You got to get one of them at least. Come on. There's one. We got 5 seconds remaining. Come on, we'd love to see it happen. Oh, now wait a minute. Did you really want to have this happen to you? Yeah. Oh, well, heck, let's just do it then. What do you think? $200 over there. Let's play some more family Double Dare. Come on.
Double Dare was the bedrock program that so much else at Nickelodeon was built on top of. The show had it all: children being covered in unidentifiable viscous substances, taunting, ravenous allegiance to flags, and an obsessive-compulsive host.
I can't function unless everything is exactly the way I want it.
That goes for pictures, phone cords, and whatever.
See, I like these two going like this. These are supposed to be sort of free form, but I like them to be free form the way I want them to be free form.
There's no more rigorous work than Fringe Patrol.
Fringe absolutely drives me the most crazy. I'm working up a sweat today doing this. Once I get it done, it does make me feel better. I just wish I didn't have to do it.
So where were the cracks in this otherwise great show? You had to look closely to see them, but if you had The Tonight Show on in 1994, you might have seen this.
I just say that because your back is to me, and I was just talking to a back. Good morning.
I'm still married, as a matter of fact.
Yes, well, you...
But things got worse when Mark tried to get Bert back.
I thought he had knocked my tooth out. I had no idea what was going on.
Eventually, Mark did get revenge.
There we go.
That's right, Mark Summers, the nabbish, obsessive-compulsive game show host, actually thought he could crack wise to the president emeritus of the Hollywood Badass Club, Mr. Burt Reynolds. Mark's lucky that all he got was a lap full of water and some bridge work. Snidely remarking on Bert's recent divorce probably should have resulted in full facial reconstruction. So the lesson that Double Dare never imparted is something we're calling the Nicolas Cage at the beginning of Con Air rule. Don't pick on the meanest guy in the bar. Next, let's strap on our elbow pads and talk about Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. With your guide, Kurt Hogg. And here he is now.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Thank you, Olmec. Welcome to Legends of the Hidden Temple. The rooms are filled with lost treasures that are protected by mysterious Mayan temple guards. Only Olmec knows the legend behind each of the treasures in this temple.
Now, we all remember this one. Olmec, the talking Aztec statue that looked like Sheldon Williams, would pester children with questions about geography and history before letting them run amok on sacred grounds. Then children would don enough safety gear to pass for NHL goalies, and they'd go after things like the metal beard of the Egyptian queen and the lucky pig of Amelia Earhart. Legends had a lot going for it: short shorts, screen-printed t-shirts, and a recounting of history as dictated by the man. What it was lacking, though, was realism. Squeamish producers could have turned a good show into a great one if they'd only included everyone's favorite topic from Aztec history: virgin sacrifice. Which is why we're keeping our fingers crossed for an updated and, this time, historically accurate version of Legends, featuring a steadily declining number of Jonas Brothers. After that, they can move on to the Palin children, you know, the ones who remained abstinent at least. Finally, we're going to finish with the strongest of the early 90s Nick competition shows, Guts.
Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it?
At the sound of my whistle, all three players will grab a basketball, jump off the aerial bridge, bounce up and shoot. They'll have 60 seconds to score as many baskets as possible. On your mark, get set.
All right, so the look of determination on Jen's face as she goes up. And there, as you see, Baby D, that's JR getting his first one in there. Some nice work right there, folks. As they continue to score, and there's Jen, the determination on her face, and she stuffs one home. That's an 11-foot net, and there's Peach on the end. Oh, looks like Jen's having some trouble getting back up there.
Guts was the best kids game show, produced by visionaries whose accomplishment ranks up there with the invention of the shot clock and the director's commentary track on Conan the Barbarian. Guts didn't even pretend to mess around with question rounds, instead getting right into the action of making kids compete head-to-head. The show was hosted by Mike O'Malley, who would go on to star in a forgettable CBS sitcom, and, inexplicably, the matches were refereed by British actress Moira Quirk. Though lacking any sort of qualification for this all-important position, Quirk still did a better job than the crew who called the NBA's conference finals this year. Guts contestants competed in all sorts of events, but the final competition was always the same. The three kids would race up a faux mountain made of particle board and asbestos, and the first to the top was handsomely rewarded with a glowing piece of the aggro crag. That was the problem with Guts. The coolest competition show should have come along with the coolest prizes, right? The winners of Double Dare and Legends of the Hidden Temple were taking home boomboxes and Super Nintendos. But the winner of Guts gets a green piece of plastic with a 40-watt light bulb inside? This made no sense whatsoever. It would have made much more sense if the winner were given Ferris Bueller's jean jacket or 15 minutes alone with the sleeping Tiffany Amber Thiessen, right? Let's hope Nick's producers are listening. We'll be keeping a bag packed for sunny Orlando, Florida in case we get that call. But until then, I remain Matt Straq. We'll see you again on That Sports Show. Does anybody watch these other than me? I love doing this goddamn show.
Why do you have to talk like that?
How are we going to grow it?
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.